Welcome to the Manager Matt podcast show. The show is designed to give you solutions to your day-to-day management and leadership problems. It's hosted by Matthew Haddock, a frontline manager and leader with over 25 years of experience. If you're ready, then let's get on with the show.
Welcome to the Manager Matt podcast show. This week's show is going to look at politics at work and can you or can't you avoid them? Right, without any more delay, let's get on with this week's show. Welcome to the Manager Matt podcast show. I do hope you are doing well this week. You are delivering results through your team and you are enjoying yourself, because that's what it's about sometimes. Life is all about enjoying yourself. Thank you so much for listening. It's been really great to get some of your feedback over the past couple of weeks on some of the shows. So let's keep them coming in, all going to managermattpodcast@gmail.com. And of course, I know everyone says this. Can you like it? Can you share it? Can you thumbs up it? Can you send it on? You send it to your work colleagues, send it to your mates, send it to someone you like or someone you don't like. Maybe they'd enjoy it. And I do really appreciate people sharing it and putting any reviews you want on the systems that you use, because it's the only way people can find us. This is all non-profit. This is all fun for me. As long as I'm passing on some of the knowledge to you guys and you're really appreciating it, then please keep sharing it. So this week's show is about politics at work. Can you or can't you avoid them? Now, we all like to think when we come to work that we have no politics. We're just going to get on with it. We come to work, get on with his jobs, get out of there. I'm not into politics. That's for somebody else. That's for the politicians. But you know something? It's always around us. Politics in work is one of the things that can really wind you up, because it's going on all the time, subconsciously sometimes, and sometimes not so subconsciously. I don't know if people are thinking to themselves, I'm going to go to work today and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to hopefully get this outcome, and by doing this to this person, that means I can get here. If I build an alliance here, I can do this. I'm not sure. It's got to have some plan to it, because the exposure I've had through my long career is that there is politics happening at all levels. The higher up your position, I think it does affect you more. I think there's a lot of it that goes on in the top echelons that you don't see. But there's also politics at other layers. And I suppose it depends where you are. I guess when I were in the shop floor, we'd call it backstabbing or being two-faced. If you're higher up, you call it manoeuvring in the office, the politics. It's always a little bit about, have you got, if you've got money, you're an eccentric. And all those kind of things, instead of just someone who's a little bit weird. So I think it's there. I think it's hard to sometimes see it. I think from my personal perspective, as my mindset has lulled me sometimes into a point where I've got politically outmaneuvered in some of my careers by someone, and I hadn't realised that naively probably. And still now, I think naively, I still walk into some things and think, could have done that better, didn't know that were there. Maybe I'll never, ever get the hang of it. Maybe people are natural. Maybe there is natural politicians. I know people are very good at talking. So if you think of a politician nowadays, you think of someone who can hold an audience, they can talk the game. You don't actually seem to have much depth, or you don't seem to need any depth of knowledge or skill to be a politician who can talk. And I think that's part of what happens in politics. In offices, I think it's a little bit different. I think you have to be good at what you do. You can establish a very strong strong base by having a good relationship with people, as well as knowing your stuff, knowing the work that you do, making sure that you can nail it. I think it's hard when someone new comes in, because they don't know the politics, they don't know how it holds together, and it does take you a while to get up to that speed. And let's face it, there'll be politicians, if we keep using the political analysis, who are very much animals. They know that they would step on anyone they can to get up there, and the people in politics know who those people are and how to build alliances with them and how not to build alliances to keep on the good side or keep out of the way. And then there's the more subtle politicians who will be able to find ways of doing things but still have that in their armoury. So at work, that's exactly the same. There's people who are very much aligned to using their power or their influence to get what they want or get what their department wants, and they're quite open about the way that they're known for it. You'll know the names that I mentioned if you're working in those areas. And there is people who are less that way around, less focused on that, more a subtle way in the background, and those are the harder ones to read. Those are the harder people to really understand what they're about. So how do you handle politics? Well, if everything I've said is right, and I'm very interested if it's wrong, send me a message if you think it's wrong. How do you handle it? Well, firstly, is be true to yourself. Know what you are there, what are your ethics and what your values. And remember, there's no lines that you're going to cross that are going to break those things. Both legally, morally or ethically, you're not going to break those things. How do you make sure the people who you know are political animals are treated? Well, as in all politics, you have to form alliances, understand their wants and needs. Where does your wants and needs cross? Is there a point where you can work together to get those things done? Is there a point where you can't work together and you can't get things done? You know that you might have to sometimes lay with the enemy in some regards to get what you need to get for the department or for your personal. How do you do that? That is the challenge. That is the one. As I said, it's knowing people. When you're new to an organisation, it's listen more than you speak. So big takeaway, big action is, if you're new, listen. Listen to what people are saying. Do you understand what's going on? Try to get connections. Is there something going on underneath? Try to see if there's relationships. Sometimes we overlook that as managers. There'll be relationships. Someone will be relayed or going out with someone, or is an ex-partner of somebody, or they've got an affiliation to an old workplace. They worked at the same place together. They're new people. They drink together. They're in the same social circles. All adds up to the politics inside the business. And then make sure that if the politics are poisonous politics, so that's politics that are very much going to affect you, your livelihood, because let's face it, politics can get you down the road as quick as they can get you up the ladder. So fair warned that if you don't play the politics right and get it in the right place, you could end up being out of work. So just make sure you're playing that right. Cover yourself. And that sounds quite negative, but sometimes you need to cover yourself. Know what the people around you are doing, so get to know them well. When you broke that mould and you've been there a few months, get to know what the people are like, understand what their motivations are, what's their alignments to, what they're wanting to get done. Can you support them? Do you want to support them? How do you get them over the line with you? How do you get them on side? And funny enough, before long, you're part of the political establishment inside that business yourself. You're the one who is a mover. You're the one that's doing the office politics well. On the reverse, if they're not there, then you'll be fine. You just follow the process. Everyone's got the same vision and mission, and everyone wants to deliver their best. Okay. You can take that with a pinch of salt, and maybe I'm being a little bit sarcastic there. We all know that there's a politics going on. To avoid them can be difficult. You can sit in your booth or at your home or in your office and just get on with your work and not be in the politics. But you get dragged in. So it's best being forearmed and forewarned. Understand how you can play your part to get what you need, to get what your boss needs, to get what your department needs without upsetting or without rocking the apple cart too much with the political animals in the next booth. Because if not, as I say, you won't be going up the ladder, you'll be going out the door. So keep that in mind when you are looking at office politics. And there's a whole raft of material around how to teach and yourself how to understand people, how to read people. Body language is one of those things that's gone out of favour these days. You don't really talk about it as much because a lot of it is electronic communications. But, if you're going to be in those positions, especially higher up, you're going to know that if you want your face to fit and you want to go up the ladder, you're going to have to play a little bit of politics. If you don't, then fine. Maybe it's not the job for you, because I'd love to sit here and say, it doesn't exist, it's all on your merit, it's all of you delivering results, and it should be, but there's not that ease. It's humans. You're not a robot, you're not a data analysis person that just does numbers. If you're a leader and a manager, you have to be able to understand people, and understanding people is playing some form of politics. Well, thanks for listening. As I said, I'd love to hear your opinions, maybe not your political opinions, but I'd love to hear any opinions about any of the shows I've done or any of the future shows you'd love to see. And of course, any feedback on the show, both good or bad, because feedback is a gift. And why not accept the gift? And of course, you can send it to managermattpodcast@gmail.com. Well, that's it for Manager Matt this week. Thanks for listening as ever, and goodbye.
Thank you so much for listening to this Manager Matt podcast. We hope you found it interesting, helpful and actionable. One last thing, please leave a quick review on iTunes or with your podcast provider, as it helps to spread the word of Manager Matt. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the podcast, and if you did like anything in particular, send an email to managermattpodcast@gmail.com or visit managermatt.co.uk for more content. Feedback is a gift, so let's keep giving. See you next week.